Hi, this is Mark Vila from ColDesi, and I'm here to talk to you about the differences between three extremely popular printer sets, which is the DigitalHeat FX printers, the Roland VersaStudio BN-20, and the Sawgrass Virtuoso line that comes in both the 500 and the 1000. And really, when it comes down to it all three of these systems are a great investment for your shop. So let's get into it. Well, one of the most popular things done with all of these printers is going to be printing t-shirts, and it's really important to understand the limitations and the capabilities of these printers before you pick which one is best for you. So let's go ahead and talk about two things that are really important. That's going to be the colors of t-shirts you can print on and the type of materials you can print on. And we'll just go ahead and start on the end here with the DigitalHeat FX line. And the Roland as well. Both of these are going to have similar capabilities where you can print on light color and dark colored t-shirts, so from white to black and just about everything in between, and the materials you can print on. So you can go on cotton, polyester, blends, and kind of everything in between there as well. The Sawgrass system is a sublimation system, which means you're just going to be printing on light colored garments, and you're also just going to be printing on polyester garments, preferably sublimation certified polyester garments for the optimal results. All right, so next we'll talk about the type of transfers you produce, and they're a little bit different, but they're all very similar at the same time. So with the DigitalHeat FX system, this is a white toner transfer, so we're printing color ink with white toner behind it, and then we're adding a polymer to the back, which allows it to adhere to your garment. This is the reason why it will print on both the cotton and polyester and the light and the darks. It's got that white background to mask out whatever the color of the shirt is, and then it's got an adhesive on the back so it actually lays on top of the garment. We're going to find something similar with the Roland BN-20, that you're printing on a material that has an adhesive backing. That's a heat applied material, and you print directly on that, and then that becomes the transfer that you adhere to the shirt. The material that you're printing on is white, so it has that kind of masking effect on dark colored garments, which allows you to print on those. And because it is adhesive based as well, you're adhering on top of your t-shirt, so it doesn't really matter as much on what type of say colors or the actual breakdown of the material that you have, like if it's cotton or polyester or blend or whatever it might be. So both systems are similar in that effect, and we'll go into a little more detail in a bit about what's the difference in those, but right now I want to compare it to why that's different than a sublimation transfer. So the Sawgrass is going to print a sublimation transfer, and really that's a chemical difference in how we're applying to the garment. So we print with a special ink, and that ink is also heat applied to a garment. But what's happening is when we apply heat to that polyester garment, essentially the molecules of the garment are opening up and the ink is going inside the garment. So it actually becomes a part of the t-shirt. And because of that, that's why we're going to be limited to the light colored garments. You can't add more color to, say, a black or a blue and turn it into pink. However, you can add color to white and turn it into pink. So essentially, that's going to be your difference in how those transfers are done. These transfers are going into the shirt, and the transfers from these two printers are going onto the shirt. Now, the next thing we want to talk about is look, feel, longevity. These are questions that almost everybody asks, right? What does it feel? Does it feel like something on the shirt? How well does it wash? And the first question that I'll answer on that is that if you take care of your t-shirts, no matter what system you're printing on, so if you're printing on the DigitalHeat FX or the Roland or the Sawgrass, if you're printing light or dark colored garments, if you're washing according to wash instructions, your longevity is going to be great. Everything here that we have is commercial grade, so nothing's going to be peeling or falling off your shirt if it's taken care of and adhered and done properly in the first place, right? But there is going to be a difference in how it actually does feel and how the longevity actually is when it comes to how, just kind of the actual look of the transfer and how you're applying it. So let's go ahead and just dive into it a little bit. But when we're talking about these two, the DigitalHeat FX and the Roland BN-20, these are both an adhesive-based transfer. So we talked about earlier that we print on top of something and there's an adhesive on the back, and then we are sticking that to the t-shirt. essentially, in so many words. It's almost like a sticker, but it's chemically bonded. And with that, there is going to be a feel to that, right? We are adding something on top of the t-shirt. Even though it's very, very thin and very light, there is going to be a texture to that. And the more of that you put onto the shirt, the more of that texture you'll feel, right? So a small logo like this will be not noticeable at all. You're barely going to feel it. A giant picture on the front, you're obviously are adding a lot to that shirt. You're gonna feel it more. But again, if it's washed and worn and treated properly, you're gonna get nice longevity out of it. Now, the difference with sublimation that we talked about before, it's not being adhered to the garment. It's becoming a part of your garment. It's becoming a part of the t-shirt. It's inside the shirt. Therefore, there is no feel. There is nothing on top of the shirt. All you're doing is adding color to the shirt, and that's like a molecular level thing. So you don't feel this at all. So sublimation is going to have no feel. You will never have a crack or a break or any type of adhesion issue at all, as long as you're using the right type of shirt, you know, like a sublimation certified type of the shirt, and you're putting the right colors on the shirt. The longevity, that's great. But as far as comparing it all, like I mentioned earlier, as long as you are taking care of the garments, you're going to get great washability. But sublimation does have a bit of a level of superiority in how it feels, because it literally feels like nothing, and it's literally becoming a part of the shirt. But kind of backing up to what we were talking about before, you do miss out on the dark colored garments, and you do miss out on being able to do 100% cotton. So there's a little bit of a balance back and forth, and you can see really the importance of both systems. So when you're deciding which of these print systems is best for you, just really consider what are the type of t-shirts you're going to print, what colors are going to be important to you, and what's that process of printing like, and you'll be able to pick the right system for you. So the next thing to talk about is going to be hard goods or promotional goods. This could be some sort of small signage, decorations, mugs, mouse pads, things like that. Essentially not t-shirts, not textiles, and what are the capabilities of these different systems, okay? So when we're talking about promotional type of goods, oftentimes sublimation becomes a really popular hot topic for this, and it's been around for a really long time. There's a ton of good things you could do. Next, also though, when you have the DigitalHeat FX system, you could still create promotional goods on this, and we're going to start kind of talking about that. So anything that you're going to print on with a DigitalHeat FX system essentially is going to be heat applied, right? So any materials that can accept heat are going to be a good candidate. So for example, mugs would be great. You have a mug press and hard surface material. You can create mugs in your DigitalHeat FX. You can also do some other flat items. You could do wood, metal, or glass. So these are all great options, and as long as you can heat apply it, you can go ahead and try it out with your DigitalHeat FX and the hard surface paper that comes with that. Now next we have the Roland VersaStudio BN-20. Now this is a completely different way of doing it, because this is all going to be essentially pressure sensitive, or a sticker in so many words. And there's various materials you can buy and you can print on with the BN-20, but that's how you're going to create goods like that. So it would be less popular to create a mug that you're putting a sticker on, right, versus heat applying to it, as an example. However, applying a sticker to a box or something is probably a lot more realistic than heat applying to a box. Putting a sticker onto a laptop or a phone case or something like that is very common. You're probably not going to take a laptop or a phone case and put it under heat. So this is a pressure sensitive adhesive that is how you're going to decorate promotional goods with your Roland BN-20, and the DigitalHeat FX is going to use heat applied. Now, one of the benefits of both of these is you don't have to have specialty goods to print on. So any piece of wood, essentially, any piece of metal, essentially, you can go ahead and you could adhere either one of those onto. They don't need to be specially coated. They also don't need to be any particular color range, right? So if you had a laptop and it was just an all black laptop, you could put any sticker you want on it, right, and decorate it that way. That would be, one example. For mugs, as an example, you could have a a black mug or a dark red mug, and you can put it under your heat press with a digital heat effects transfer, and it would look good. Same concept as the t-shirts. It's that white background. Now the Sawgrass Sublimation system, even though it's probably the most popular for promotional goods, there's a limitation to you are going to use sublimatable products. So that means they have a special coating on them. So when you're buying mugs, it's not just any mug, it's a sublimation mug. If you're doing mouse pads, it's not any mouse pads, it's a sublimation mouse pad. And it doesn't matter if it's wood or metal or whatever it is, it has to have that special sublimatable coating. That does come with a really great benefit though, and it's actually the same benefit as the t-shirts. When you've got that mug or that mouse pad or whatever it is, when you sublimate it, it becomes a part of that. That coating that's on the mug, that coating that's on the mouse pad, when you apply that transfer to it with heat, it goes inside there and it will not be scratched off, rubbed off, washed off. You can't, because it's a part of the object. You actually have to damage the object, where these are adhered on top. So although if you do the right applications, you're not going to have a problem with it falling off, it is still on top of it, which means it is more subject to a degree of damage or a degree of wear over time. You can peel a sticker off, right? We've all done it. We also know that depending on what the type of sticker is and what it's stuck to, some things are really easy to peel off and others feel almost impossible. You need Goo Gone or something like that to take it off. So that's what you need to think about when you're doing these type, is that they are adhered on top, which does give them an advantage that you don't need special materials or special colors, but it provides a slight disadvantage that it is something on top versus the sublimation becomes a part of it. So they are a little bit different and both offer great advantages, but all three can create awesome looking promotional products. Now I'd like to talk about stickers. We've already kind of brought that up a little bit in this conversation, but when it comes to stickers, if that's going to be a big part of your business, selling stickers, whether you're going to be applying them or you're going to be giving them to a customer who's going to apply them to something, that's really where the Roland VersaStudio BN-20 comes out on top. It is really fantastic at creating stickers of basically any size, any shape, and in any color that you want. There's various materials from window cling type of material that you can peel on and off, to waterproof adhesive, which would be great for say like a beer bottle or putting on the window of a car, to just simple paper stickers, something that you might put on that laptop. So that's really fantastic capability, and you can do these in any shape and any color. You could do a full color logo and then cut out the exact shape of the logo and turn it into a sticker. That is very cool. Now the Digital Heat FX System, it is a toner printer. All right, so when you want to answer the question, can it print stickers? Any printer that you've used at home, right? Any desktop printer, if you use, can print stickers, right? You buy sticker paper that says it's for toner, and you put it inside your printer, and then you can print out stickers. But there is going to be a little bit of a limitation because those typically aren't going to be custom shaped. They're going to come in a limited number of sizes, right? And they're usually done in sheets, you know? So you buy sheets of sticker paper, you put them in your printer, and you line up with a template and you click print. So you can print stickers on a Digital Heat FX System. The 9541 that we have right here does have the CMYK and white, so you can print 5 different colors and a mixture of everything between them on stickers, but it's not going to cut out the shape, and it's not going to come in as robust of material as you're going to find in the BN-20. Lastly, to talk about the Sawgrass Sublimation system in both the SG-1000 and the SG-500, it's not really recommended to create stickers on these. Now, it is an inkjet printer, and theoretically you could do like you do with your, your desktop printer and buy sticker paper and run it through it. But the ink is sublimation ink, so it's not designed to do that. So really you'd be better off using a different printer for it. So I'm gonna say a no to stickers on here. So when it comes to doing stickers, We can say clearly that the Roland BN-20 is definitely a machine that is designed to do that. So if you are going to be selling a lot of stickers, if it's going to be a core part of your business, this is a great investment. If you own a digital heat effects system and you were going to print some stickers and labels, it's a toner printer, so you definitely could. And if you have a Sawgrass, I probably would say don't print stickers on that. A different printer would be more suitable. Well, now I'd like to talk about signs. That's another very popular thing for customization, and it is part of the business that people are doing with all three of these print systems, so it's important to address the differences in these. Now, I want to start off with the Roland VersaStudio again. The ability for it to roll print very easy on all different types of adhesive material means for signage, this machine is very, very powerful. So it's a 20-inch machine, so you can even see paper in here. You can print a decent size width sign, and it's on a rolled material, so you can print out a really long sign. This could be just a cut-out material, meaning you could buy sticker material, in so many words. Pressure-sensitive material might be a better way to say that. And you can buy a roll of pink pressure-sensitive material, and you can cut out a sign, and that can go right on the glass of a large window, right? So you can imagine that in a sense. It's also a full-color printer, so you can also print out a full-color sticker that's really large and big that could go on a big window. It could also go, small like a regular sticker, but you can make big stickers that are for signs. You can also buy rolled paper, like photo paper and such, and that can create a banner. That's a particularly large banner. You could essentially do, almost a full person print and put it up, as a banner. So it's really versatile in that. Now, the digital heat effects in regards to signage is going to be a little bit different. Now, it is a toner printer, so you can put different sizes of papers in there and create different types of signage, but maybe not necessarily the same type of banner you're going to do with your Roland printer. Now, the digital heat effects also, as we mentioned earlier, with the hard goods and the promotional items, you can heat apply. So if you have small signage, small metal sign, small wood sign, when I say small, the limitations of the paper size, so about a 13 by 19 if you're going to do it in a single print. And as long as you can heat apply to that, then you can create all different types of small signage, and we see people do it all the time. And I'm going to say similar to the Sawgrass as with the digital heat effects, it's going to be a heat applied type of signage, and you're going to be limited to that 13 by 19 paper. And I can show you actually about the size of that right here, just to give you a good visual up against me. So about this size paper will be the size of paper you're going to print on a Sawgrass, specifically the SG-1000 and specifically the digital heat effects 9541. But on both of these, you can heat apply. So on the Sawgrass, you would get sublimation sign material, sublimation metal, anything like that. Any type of sublimatable material that would be a sign type of material, whether it's aluminum or whatever it might be, you can do with your Sawgrass system. So both of these are going to be heat applied signs only, really. And with the digital heat effects, since it's a toner printer, you can print on regular paper as well and turn that into a sign. But the Roland's still similar to the stickers because signs and stickers have a relation, really. It's just the size, I think, is really the biggest difference. The Roland VersaStudio BN-20 is just really a champion for that type of printing, to being able to do full color big signs. But that's basically your difference in being able to do signs with all three of these printers. One of the next popular things are, how big can I print? What size can I print is a question, and I just mentioned it a couple minutes ago, but the 13 by 19 is the size that we're looking at for the printers that we see right here. So the digital heat effects 9541 and the Sawgrass SG-1000, they both are going to print up to a 13 by 19 sheet of transfer paper. And that's essentially the size limitation on those two printers. Now, one of the benefits of both of those as well are they do come in different model printers. Those come at a lesser cost, which we'll get into cost soon. And those come also with a smaller maximum size print. Okay, so there are options on those printers, but it's up to 13 by 19 as far as the transfer goes. Now, one of the differences in the Roland BN-20 is that it's a roll style printer. And it's a 20-inch wide roll, so you're not going to print necessarily that whole 20 inches. You have a little bit of a limitation, but the length is beautiful because you can print a really, really long roll of material. So you get you could say about 19 inches. So where those are 13 by 19, this is 19 by many, many feet. So that's one of the advantages of the size of this. But, you know, just as anything, it comes with disadvantages. You are using rolled material versus sheets, and storing and buying and handling those things are different as well. But 13 by 19 of both of these, and about 19-ish by many, many feet in a roll is the size you're going to find in the BN-20. All right, definitely one of the most popular things that people like to talk about and ask about are the price of these different print systems. So let's go ahead and talk about them a little bit. First, I'm going to start with the DigitalHeat FX line of printers, and I'll just give this a starting price of about $4,000 and an ending price in $15,000. You know, and that range can, you know, change definitely based on what type of papers you want to buy and other supplies. It also depends on a heat press machine, right? So this is going to be a printer you're going to want to invest in a heat press machine. As you heard throughout all of this video, heat applied, heat applied. This is typically a heat applied transfer printer, so you're going to want a heat press machine. So you have two costs, kind of a starting at $4,000 for the smaller models of the DigitalHeat FX, plus a heat press, and there's various investments in that. So I kind of say $4,000 to $12,000, $4,000 to $15,000 as a base range, but it could vary a lot in between there depending on heat press, materials, accessories, etc. Next, we'll talk about the Roland VersaStudio BN-20. Now this is one machine. There's not really models here. The current price of this print system is about $6,000 at the time of making this video. By the way, any of these prices can change over time. So at the time of making this video, this is about $6,000. And that's about it for that. Now, if you are going to make t-shirts, and as I mentioned earlier, t-shirts is one of the most popular things for all of these printers, then you are going to invest in a heat press. So $6,000 plus accessories, plus paper that you might want to buy, plus a heat press that you might want to buy. Now, if you're just going to do stickers and you're just going to do signs, a heat press is not necessary. But if you are going to bring in the heat applied for doing t-shirts and aprons and sweaters and hoodies and all stuff like that, then you're definitely going to want a heat press so you can create heat transfers with your Roland BN-20. And lastly, we'll talk about the Sawgrass line. So Sawgrass printers are going to start right around $600 and go up to, you could say, a couple thousand, a few thousand. And again, that's going to depend on the printer, ink you're going to buy with it, what type of paper, how much paper, and of course the heat press as well, right? So you're going to want to figure out what type of heat press you need, what are you going to make, what size printer, and what size heat press. But basically around $600 to a few $1,000s is your investment here. All right, well now I'd like to do a wrap up on each printer and just go ahead and tell you kind of the best of the best for each of them, and to help you decide which one's for you, and just a bit of my opinion as well. So starting off with the Sawgrass Sublimation printers, if you're going to do promotional items a ton, so you're going to be doing mugs, mouse pads, can coolers, tumblers, and t-shirts, the Sublimation system is awesome. It is the investment is really quick. There's financing available on it. So it's a nice compact piece of equipment that's super versatile. It does come with limitations. You're not going to do dark colored items, and you are going to have to work within that sublimation system. So you're going to have to buy sublimation printer, sublimation paper, sublimation ink, sublimation goods. But within that, you've got a beautiful system that you can create a ton of different things. And on ColemanandCompany.com, we've got a ton of different sublimation goods and the ink and the paper and all that stuff that goes along with it. So it's a great system, comes with some limitations, but for the price and if you want to do promotional goods, awesome investment. And honestly, this is an investment every shop should have at some point in time, whether you're doing embroidery or you're printing t-shirts. Adding one of these is simple, super versatile. Next, the Roland BN-20. This stickers and signs, to me, if that's going to be a huge part of your business, this is the winner. The t-shirts come out great too, and they absolutely look beautiful. The versatility of this machine is fantastic, from being able to do beer bottle labels to card decals to just a big printed paper sign to t-shirts. So the versatility is great. The investment's pretty reasonable as well, and the quality is just beautiful that comes out of it. The DigitalHeat FX System is definitely a winner for t-shirts. If you're going to do t-shirts of any type of material, almost any type of material, almost any color that's out there, the versatility of the DigitalHeat FX for doing t-shirts is fantastic. It's also just super fast. It's a toner printer, so those t-shirt transfers just fly out of there much faster than the other two, which are inkjet systems. And it's the maintenance on it is essentially maintenance free. There basically is no maintenance. You don't have to keep it on. It doesn't have to go through printing and cleaning cycles. You're not really worrying about a print head getting clogged or shaking inks or expiration of ink or anything like that. It's really very worry free. You have the printer on, you print, you can turn it off, and you can come back a week later and just start printing again. You know, that's what's great about toner systems. They're just really easy to use in regards to the actual operation. There's not a lot of maintenance, there's not a lot of cleaning. You kind of are just replacing some parts here and there over time. So maintenance free. The investment ranges, fantastic for t-shirts. And really, when it comes down to it all three of these systems are a great investment for your shop. And you might want to just have two of these systems or all three of these systems. It really depends on what you're going to do, how you're going to do it. And the best way to get that answer is to go to ColDesi.com. You can live chat with one of our pros. You can read about this, and they can help you decide whether picking one of these or more than one of these or all three of these, or printing systems and other systems that are not even in this video that we have available, that's right for your business. So thank you for watching. We hope you learned a lot, and be sure to visit ColDesi.com and live chat with one of our pros. Or if you already have any equipment like this and you're looking for supplies, blanks, ink, paper, anything like that, t-shirts, you can go to ColemanandCompany.com and take a look there. Thanks for watching.